now, of course, the head coach himself, Boris Linares. Boris, let's start today with what you saw encapsulated in today's overall fixture.
I know they have talent and they have a team, and they come out, and every team is playing us hard. So I know they're gonna come out and gonna play hard and try to beat us. They had the result, and then I didn't like the fact that then they started defending and wasting time on a tie. I mean, I play to win. I don't care if I go home with the L. We're trying to win. That's the mentality we bring to the game. And fault me on it, hate me on it, I don't care. I mean, we're always going to try to win. If I had to go to a three-man line, I was doing that. So I'm trying to win a game. I'm not trying to tie. The message that I want to send out is, I'm proud of all our boys, because it doesn't matter, like, who I bring in, I have complete faith in them. And, I have a tremendous bench that they're not bench players. But they believe in the project.
Right.
And they believe in the project of what we've been and what we're trying to establish. Like I said to you from the beginning of the season, I know we have a bullseye on our backs, and you know what? We wear it with honor. Like I said, you want to come and take it then. That's the mentality that we have as a group, as a team. And those that are with it, they're with it. And, anybody that comes into the game can make a difference. Michi comes in. We don't drop our level. We just maintain our level. And we knew that, a couple of breaks here, a couple of breaks there. And unfortunately, we saw a handball in there and we didn't get a call. It's just, that's football, and you have to live with what happens on the field. But like I was telling them, let's be patient. It's coming. We never give up on it. There's some things, we have room for improvement. And we've been working hard, believe me. Like this week, I was telling them this week is a very important week. This can make us or break us. And, mission one, part one, done today. We wanted to get the result. We wanted the 3 points. And the whole thing that we wanted to do was just going with momentum because, no disrespect to Red Hook, I know they're going to come and bring it, so we have to go in there and just try to play hard and get the result. And then, of course, the Clásico coming up against Braveheart, I know that they have, a tremendous team. I know they tied with Empire, but so did we, so we're basically, I guess, neck and neck on this. And then, like you said before, it seems to be that those matches determine the winner of the division. But, I don't have no animosity towards any team, but they got to understand my passion is for the team and what we're doing, So, I like to take the time to say I have no disrespect for any team. It's just my mentality and our focus is that we want to win, Like I said, whatever we're doing, we're trying to just win. And, hopefully, thank God no one got really hurt. And we can go into Wednesday. Hopefully we can get a good result there. On the road, you never know. So that's what we're looking at, and trying to improve. I make them work hard. We work hard. We train hard, but the mentality is there. And I think I'm almost getting to the point where I have the team just, functioning the way they need to.
So now, if I'm allowed to also pry specifically a little bit about the halftime break itself.
Yes.
I'm just wondering about the tactics because there was an offensive change we had seen with Henry Martinez, Junior Rosero, Sebastián Ruiz Restrepo. How did that all affect especially the perhaps final 10 minutes of the second half?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like what I was saying is nothing against the starters were doing excellent. But the thing is like, I have the legs, I have the deep bench, and I have the ability to make those changes. And I know the level doesn't. And I tweaked it a bit, how we were going to be playing positionally. To give us more chances going inside. Always looking for the result, and then we still got hit with a second goal anyway. And, it happens. And we're trying to we're still trying to get that goal, get us going. But I tweaked it a bit, the positioning and the formation going up. And, it required it. The game required it. And I think it changed the game. we started getting even more possession, even more pressing them, and I know that they were tired. Right. So that was the whole point of the changes that I made in succession. I made the changes to start, pushing them and pushing them back, and they kept on falling back, which was, they were playing to a counterattack, but then I put in Jason to give Samuel a break on it because he's got even more speed and fresh legs. So I was anticipating the counterattacks would come, but with Jason Solano's speed, we were going to do fine. So that was my thinking, but my thinking is always try to win. I just try to eke out wins, like get it however we can. We just got to push for it, So thankfully it worked out for us today, Thank you.
Of course, another collection of 3 points, shrinking that gap, of course, between New York Renegades FC and that always coveted first place, not too far away, especially with the match in hand. So again, this Red Hook game, like you said, and just as OJ Bedward had implied, as well as Rances Reneau, will be incredibly crucial. But like you also said, Coach, an all-in mentality alongside that fiery drive could drive Renegades itself into possibly success itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're trying to do. And I know we got bullseye, and I know some teams hate me or whatever, but you know what? It makes for a good entertainment for the crowd. The crowd was into it. I know they brought some support over. If we have to be the villains sometimes, we'll be the villains. And, again, no disrespect to them. I mean, I love it that everybody's level has been going up. And everybody's level in the UPSL is going up. So it's good. I think it's good for the league. I think it's good for us. We get pushed, and it's all right. That's the game. That's the game we want to play, and that's the game we want to participate in. And, yes, the whole point, my mentality and the group of guys I have mentality is the game is not over until it's over, and what we want, we define ourselves as win. It's just that win-win, That's the game.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Coach.
You.
Congratulations on the win.
You.